Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we bring you some deeply emotional and significant news from the music world. The beloved and influential frontman of the Welsh rock band The Alarm, Mike Peters, has passed away at the age of 66. Mike died after a heroic and decades-long battle with cancer, specifically chronic lymphocytic leukemia, which eventually progressed into a rare and aggressive condition known as Richter's syndrome. In this special video, we pay tribute to a man who was not only a musical pioneer but also a cancer awareness advocate, a loving husband and father, and an enduring symbol of strength and resilience. This is the story of Mike Peters, his journey through music, illness, activism, and the legacy he leaves behind. Mike Peters was born Michael Leslie Peters on February 25, 1959, in the seaside town of Prestatyn, North Wales. He was raised in Rhyl, where his passion for music began to blossom at a young age. Like many musicians of his generation, Mike was inspired by the revolutionary sound of the Beatles, but he also drew influence from folk legends like Bob Dylan and the raw energy of the punk movement in the late 1970s. With Peters as their lead vocalist and lyricist, The Alarm quickly gained attention for their powerful anthems and impassioned performances. They combined elements of punk, folk, and arena rock, delivering music that resonated with themes of rebellion, resilience, and unity. Their breakthrough single, 68 Guns, released in 1983, became an anthem for a generation, capturing both the angst and hope of youth. Their debut album, Declaration, released in 1984, was met with critical and commercial success, charting in both the UK and US. Subsequent albums like Strength, 1985, Eye of the Hurricane, 1987, and Change, 1989, solidified The Alarm's place in the alternative rock canon. Songs such as Spirit of 76, Rain in the Summertime, and Rescue Me became staples on rock radio and live stages. The band toured extensively and shared stages with music legends like U2, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, and Bruce Springsteen. Their sound drew comparisons to U2, but The Alarm maintained their own unique identity, largely thanks to Peters' distinctive voice and deeply personal lyrics. In 1995, at the height of his musical career, Mike Peters was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of blood cancer. The diagnosis came as a devastating blow, not just to Mike and his family, but to fans and friends who had come to admire his energetic stage presence and zest for life. But Mike didn't let the illness define him. He went through treatment and managed to enter remission. He continued performing and recording, proving that his fighting spirit extended far beyond the music stage. This period marked a turning point in Mike's life, where his personal battles began to intertwine more openly with his public identity. In 2005, a decade after his first cancer diagnosis, Mike was again confronted with life-changing news. He had developed chronic lymphocytic leukemia, CALE. This type of cancer is typically slow progressing, but it would come to shape the next chapter of his life. Rather than retreating, Mike chose to fight back, not just for himself, but for others. Alongside his wife Jules Peters, he co-founded the Love Hope Strength Foundation in 2007. The foundation's mission was to promote cancer awareness, fund research, and encourage people to join the bone marrow and stem cell donor registry. What made their approach unique was how they integrated advocacy with music. The foundation organized fundraising treks and concerts in remarkable locations, including Mount Everest Base Camp, Machu Picchu, and Kilimanjaro. These events were both symbolic and practical, resulting in thousands of new donors and actual lives saved through matchmaking. Throughout his health struggles, Mike continued to be a prolific musician. He reassembled the Alarm with a new lineup and began releasing music that reflected his personal journey. Albums such as Under Attack, Equals, Sigma, and War were raw, heartfelt, and deeply autobiographical. He also created side projects like Big Country, where he stepped in as lead vocalist, and collaborated with fellow musicians in the Dead Men Walking supergroup. These efforts allowed Mike to continue pushing his creative boundaries even in the face of adversity. His lyrics during this era were filled with themes of perseverance, mortality, love, and spiritual reflection. For fans, these songs weren't just music, they were lifelines of hope, crafted by someone who understood the weight of real struggle. In early 2025, Peters received another devastating diagnosis. His CALE had transformed into Richter's syndrome, a rare and aggressive form of lymphoma. The disease progressed quickly and treatment options were limited. He underwent CAR T-cell therapy, an advanced form of immunotherapy, at the Christie NHS Foundation Trust in Manchester, a leading cancer treatment facility. Although he fought bravely and remained optimistic to the end, Mike passed away on April 29, 2025, surrounded by his loved ones. His final months were a continuation of the legacy he had built over decades, full of courage, hope, and love for life. Mike Peters is survived by his wife Jules and their two sons, Dylan and Evan. His legacy, however, extends far beyond his immediate family. As a musician, he inspired millions with his powerful lyrics, unmistakable voice, and anthemic compositions. As a cancer advocate, he helped revolutionize how artists can use their platform for health awareness and action. His foundation continues to operate today, bringing hope and help to countless individuals worldwide. Mike once said, "If you can turn something negative into a positive, then you're winning the biggest battle of all." By that measure, Mike Peters won. Today, we honor a man who faced unimaginable challenges and yet never gave up. Mike Peters taught us that music can heal, and that strength comes not from never falling, but from rising every time you do. Rest in peace, Mike. Your music, your fight, your legacy, they live on. Thank you all for watching. If you were moved by Mike Peters' story, please consider sharing this video, leaving a tribute in the comments, and subscribing for more heartfelt tributes and music stories. And remember, as Mike said, let there always be love, hope, and strength.